You've been trying to drop some body fat, lose a little bit of weight, things have been moving in the right direction and you're feeling good. But then what was once slow and steady scale drops have started to slow down, or worse, they've completely stopped. And now it's doing you nothing, you've lost your momentum, and you're frustrated because you're putting in the effort, but nothing seems to be happening. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why these fat loss plateaus occur and exactly how you can get past them. So let's jump straight into this video. Now, before we properly get into this video, as a coach, I don't want to just presume that your diet's just stopped working and you've been super consistent with your training and your overall nutrition. So before we get into the main reasons why fat loss genuinely does plateau, there's a few questions that I want you to ask yourself first. Question number one, has your weight loss genuinely plateaued, or do you just need to give things more time? Because let's say for the past 6 weeks, your weight's been going down nice and consistently, and you're happy because every week it's just moving down in a nice, steady, linear line. And now all of a sudden for the last week, you've been having some fluctuations. The reality is you may just need to give it another half a week before things start to drop again, because weight loss is never linear. The second thing that I want you to ask yourself is, have you really been as consistent as you think you have? And the reason why I ask you this is because sometimes our perception of how consistent we've been versus how consistent we've actually been can be two completely different things. And how consistent you've been at first might have been enough to get you moving in the right direction, but maybe you had little gaps in your nutrition on certain days in the week, and maybe your activity was a little bit lower on certain days. And now that you've dropped those initial few kilos, those inconsistencies may be the thing that's stopping your weight from moving down. So ask yourself those two things first before you focus on what I'm about to speak about. And now that I've covered those things, let's just presume that your diet has been absolutely on point, you've been hitting your activity targets and everything's all good, and you genuinely have hit a fat loss plateau. So reason number one why your fat loss might have plateaued is because you simply don't need as many calories anymore. Let's say you started at 90 kilos and now you're 84, 85 kilos. And when you was 90 kilos, you could get away with eating, let's just say 2,000 calories per day. And that was enough to put you in a calorie deficit and get you moving nicely in the right direction. But now you weigh 84 kilos. So now, because you're a smaller person, your body doesn't require as many calories. Let's say you've got someone who's 84 kg and 90 kg, and you are literally just sitting in bed. How many calories your body will burn to just simply stay alive will be two different numbers. So that is the main first reason why your fat loss has plateaued, because what was once a deficit isn't a deficit anymore, and it's most likely your maintenance. So in order to get things moving in the right direction, you need to do a little something to get it moving again, which is what I will speak about after I make point two. So the second reason is something called metabolic adaptation. All this basically means is your body is trying to conserve energy. Our body sees dieting as a threat because essentially we are putting a restriction on our body. And when our body sees something as a threat or a restriction, our bodies are smart and they will try and do things to conserve energy. So a few things that our body does is things like moving less, fidgeting less, talking less, and all of these things are just really subconscious. And when your body does this over the course of a week, that could literally be a few hundred less calories that your body is burning. And that will really vary from person to person, depending on where you're at within your dieting phase and just how restrictive you've been. But it is enough to take you out of a calorie deficit and bring you back to maintenance. So now you know that because you're a lighter person, your body requires less calories. And because you've been dieting and your body sees it as a threat, your body is doing stuff to conserve energy, almost as this protective mechanism. So now it's on us to do something to get things moving again. And what you do is going to be very person dependent on your life, what you're able to commit to, and what you would prefer to do. But I'm going to give you a few examples now. So our main levers when it comes to getting fat loss moving again and getting the scales going down is nutrition, our steps, and cardio. Those are our three biggest tools that we can utilize. Now, you can pull from all of these three levers if you want to, or you can just pull from one of them. Again, this is where it's very person dependent. So let's say for yourself, let's say if you're happy to lower your calories and you don't want to increase your activity, you could reduce your calories by, let's say, 150 to 200. Try that for 2 weeks, your activity stayed the same, and then see what happens. So it's almost like a little mini assessment. For somebody else, they may be happy to lower their calories a little bit. So again, let's say 150 to 200, and they may be more than happy because they have the time to add in an extra 2,000 to 3,000 steps per day. Same thing, you'd give it 2 weeks, monitor your body weight, see what happens, and then hopefully that will get you moving back in the right direction. And then let's just say we have a third person. Somebody may want to pull from all three of those levers. So maybe they'll do a 150 calorie drop. They're going to add an extra 1 to 2K steps per day. And they're going to add in an extra 60 minutes of total cardio per week. Same thing, they're going to give it 2 weeks. They're going to track the data, and that should get things moving in the right direction. So just to summarize this video, the next time your fat loss plateaus, first of all, you're going to ask yourself those two questions. Has my fat loss actually plateaued, or do I need to give it more time? Question number 2, have I really been as consistent as I think I have? If you can honestly answer yes to both of those questions, you gave it enough time and you've been super consistent, and only then you go to your 3 levers. So you got your nutrition, your steps, and your cardio. You choose which ones you want to pull from. Do that, and I promise you, it will be enough to get things moving in the right direction. So I hope that helped, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.